My princess, today I want to share something that completely surprised me. 9 different people looked at your photo, and every one of them noticed something special. What they said wasn't about beauty alone, it was about the kindness, strength, and hope they believed your smile reflected. Their words made me see you in a completely different way. Stay until the end because this emotional story carries a message that might touch your heart forever. My princess, today I want to tell you a story that stayed in my heart long after it happened. It is not a story about magic, predictions, or impossible promises. It is a story about first impressions, kindness, and how the way we treat others often leaves a stronger impression than our appearance ever can. One day, while talking with a small group of people, I showed them your photo. I did not tell them your name. I did not explain where you were from or what you had achieved. I simply asked them one question: what is the first positive quality you imagine when you see this person? Their answers surprised me, not because they claimed to know you, but because each response reminded me how much kindness, confidence, and hope people often associate with a warm smile and peaceful expression. Of course, no one can truly know a person's character from a photo alone, but their thoughtful observations started a meaningful conversation. The first person said, "This picture gives me the impression of someone who values kindness." That simple sentence reminded me that kindness is one of the greatest gifts anyone can share. It costs nothing, yet it can brighten someone's entire day. The second person said, "I imagine someone who keeps trying even when life becomes difficult." Those words made me think about perseverance. Every successful journey is built from many small steps taken during moments when giving up would have been easier. The third person smiled and said, "The photo gives me a feeling of calm." Whether or not that impression was accurate, it reminded all of us that inner peace is something worth protecting. A peaceful heart makes wiser decisions and creates stronger relationships. The fourth person noticed the smile and said, "It reminds me that hope can be contagious." Hope has an incredible power. When one person refuses to lose faith, they often encourage others to keep believing as well. The fifth person said, "This photo makes me think about gratitude." That answer became the beginning of a long discussion about how grateful people often appreciate simple blessings that others overlook. The sixth person mentioned confidence, not confidence built on pride, but quiet confidence that comes from believing in yourself while remaining humble. The seventh person imagined someone who enjoys helping others. We all agreed that greatest success is not measured by what we collect, but by the positive difference we make in other people's lives. The eighth person talked about patience. They said the expression in the photo reminded them that meaningful achievements take time, whether or not that impression was correct. It led us to discuss how patience helps dreams become reality. Finally, the ninth person simply said, whatever this person's story may be, I hope it is filled with peace. That final sentence stayed with me more than anything else. It reminded me that every person deserves peace in their heart, peace in their family, peace in their friendships, and peace in the future they are working to build. As I thought about those conversations, I realized something important. A single photograph cannot reveal who someone truly is. Only their words, actions, honesty, and kindness can do that. Character is not captured in one image, it is revealed over time through everyday choices. That realization became today's most valuable lesson. Instead of trying to impress the world with appearances, let us focus on becoming people whose actions speak with kindness, respect, patience, honesty, and compassion. These qualities become more valuable every year. My princess, if there is one message I hope you remember from this story, it is this: never measure your worth by how people judge a picture. Measure it by the kindness you show, the promises you keep, the respect you give, the courage you display during difficult times, and the hope you continue sharing with others. A beautiful heart leaves a far greater impression than any photograph ever could. As our conversation ended, everyone agreed on one final thought: the most memorable people are not remembered because they looked perfect, they are remembered because they made others feel respected, encouraged, valued, and understood. That is the kind of legacy worth building. May your future always be guided by wisdom instead of fear, gratitude instead of complaints, patience instead of rushing, and kindness instead of judgment. because those qualities have the power to change lives, including your own one thoughtful choice at a time. After that conversation ended, I kept thinking about the different impressions people had shared. None of them claimed to truly know you from a single photograph, yet their words reminded me of an important truth. First, impressions may begin a conversation, but only character completes the story. My princess, as I looked at your photo again, I realized that every person carries a story that cannot be seen in one picture. Behind every smile, there may be challenges that have made someone stronger. Behind every quiet expression, there may be dreams waiting to come true. That thought inspired me to reflect on the qualities that truly matter in life: honesty, kindness, patience, humility, respect. These are the qualities that remain valuable long after appearances change. One of the people later told me something I will never forget. They said the best way to know someone is not by looking at them, but by watching how they treat other people. Those words stayed with me because they are true. A person's real beauty is revealed through compassion, through forgiveness, through generosity, through the courage to remain kind even when life becomes difficult. My princess, I hope you never feel pressure to become someone else just to satisfy the expectations of others. The world already has enough people pretending. It needs more people who are genuine. Be honest, be respectful, be grateful. Those qualities never lose their value. As continued reflecting on our conversation, I realized that every person has the opportunity to leave behind something greater than success or popularity. We leave behind memories. We leave behind encouragement. We leave behind the kindness people remember long after we are gone. That is a legacy worth creating. I also thought about the importance of confidence. True confidence does not come from receiving constant praise. It comes from knowing your values and remaining faithful to them even when nobody is watching. Confidence built on character lasts much longer than confidence, built on appearance. Another lesson became clear. Never judge your future by one difficult day. Some of the strongest people in the world have walked through seasons of disappointment before reaching seasons of peace. Every challenge carries a lesson. Every delay carries preparation. Every new morning offers another opportunity to begin again. My princess, I hope you always choose people who appreciate your heart before your appearance. Choose friendships built on honesty. Choose conversations filled with encouragement. Choose relationships where respect is stronger than pride. Those are the connections that continue growing through every season of life. As I imagine the future, I do not hope for perfection. I hope for wisdom. I hope for peace. I hope for meaningful friendships. I hope for a life where gratitude becomes a daily habit instead of an occasional feeling. Before ending today's message, I want to leave you with something simple. A photograph may introduce someone, but only their daily actions reveal who they truly are. So continue becoming the person you hope to be. Continue learning, continue forgiving, continue encouraging, continue believing in goodness even when life becomes difficult, because people may remember your picture for a moment, but they will remember your kindness for a lifetime, and perhaps that is the most beautiful achievement anyone can ever hope to leave behind. As the days passed, I kept returning to that conversation in my thoughts. It reminded me that every person has two stories. One is the story the world sees at first glance, and other is the story written through everyday choices. The second story is always the one that truly matters. My princess, I hope your life is never defined by a single photograph, one opinion, or one moment. A picture can capture a smile, but it cannot capture your courage. It cannot show the lessons you have learned, the kindness you have shared, or the dreams you continue to protect. That is why I believe every person deserves to be known for their character rather than their appearance. One evening, I asked myself a question. If people remembered me many years from now, what would I hope they remembered? Not my achievements, not my possessions, not my appearance. I hope they would remember that I tried to encourage others, spoke with honesty, respected people, and remained kind even during difficult times. Those qualities create a legacy that never fades. My princess life will introduce you to many different people. Some will encourage you, some may misunderstand you, others may judge you before they truly know you. Do not allow those opinions to decide your worth. Instead, let your actions speak louder than assumptions. Treat people with respect. Keep your promises. Listen with patience. Offer forgiveness when possible. These habits quietly build a life filled with trust as continued reflecting. Another